What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Comic Lads. I'm Thomas.
Holy voice crack.
I'm Thomas. All right. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Comic Lads. I'm Thomas.
I'm Merlin.
Today, we're going to be talking about the Batman Arkham universe. So the question always comes up in the Arkham community, should there be a sequel? Should they make another prequel? That's what we're going to be talking about today. In regards to should there be a sequel, no.
Nah.
I really don't think so. Sorry, you lost your chance when you decided to make a Suicide Squad game for 8 years and then Kevin Conroy passed away.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you lost it now. Sorry, guys, you fucking lost it.
Arkham Asylum onward needs to be Kevin Conroy.
Without question.
Yeah, especially if it's set in this universe. It just feels like it shouldn't be touched.
I agree.
But there is still a lot of room to be explored in the prequel part of this universe. So specifically the Arkham Origins years. Arkham Origins had a lot of great things in it, had a lot of kind of questionable things in it. I think there's a lot of opportunity in this universe to have Joker not be at the exact center of things. So all of this comes to the head that me and Thomas have spent the last hour and a half,
It's like 2 hours.
writing a pitch for a sequel to the prequel of the Arkham franchise. So this would be a pitch that would follow 1 year after the events of Arkham Origins. This game would be called Arkham Rising. In essence, the story would be a mashup of Mask of the Phantasm, an amazing animated movie that we both love. I think you a little bit more than me.
Oh yeah, maybe the best Batman movie ever.
Yeah,
But,
very good. It would also borrow elements from the Dark Knight movie
And the Long Halloween comic.
and the Long Halloween comic, as well as the main Court of Owls storyline. This game would take place 1 year after Origins. Batman's been fighting crime diligently, and we open up with Bruce actually at a party. And at this party, he's talking with a mysterious, lovely young lady, her name being Andrea Beaumont. If you guys have seen the Phantasm movie, you know who this is.
Yeah, we know.
This Andrea Beaumont is part of the upper class. She carries herself very well. Bruce is very much infatuated with her. Suddenly, Joker ends up crashing the party. And this actually serves as the tutorial and opener of the game. Nice. So you actually get to stop Joker. Batman's been kind of in this dance with the Joker for the last year where Joker keeps breaking out of Blackgate. Batman keeps stopping him, but only for him to break out again. It's kind of been like this reoccurring cycle.
Yeah, and just keep killing people every time he comes out.
And he kind of is coming to this sense that Batman's good in the short term, but long term, he's really not making that much of an impact on Gotham.
This would introduce Harvey Dent into the story, and he's actually having some success keeping the criminals at bay, keeping inmates behind bars, pushing for a better justice system, and tying into the name of the game. He would actually be an advocate along with Quincy Sharp. He would be an advocate of Arkham Asylum, getting reopened to house new super criminals that have been rising since Batman has come onto the scene since Arkham Origins and now into Arkham Rising. This would put Batman at kind of like a crossroads. Yeah, he has this promise that he wants to keep seemingly for his whole life, he thought at first, to his parents, to keep the city safe, but Harvey's kind of doing a way better job than me, and he's not almost getting killed every night.
And while all this is going on, Batman would actually find himself falling in love with Andrea Beaumont, that lovely young lady that he met at that party. He kind of really grapples with the fact that, oh my god, I could be happy. He's really on the cusp of hanging up his cape and cowl when suddenly Andrea's father is murdered by the Court of Owls. Andrea also subsequently disappears at the site of his murder without a trace, literally a fart in the wind, she's gone. This prompts the whole city to actually peg the killing of her father on her, and also prompts Batman to go on one last mission, essentially, to save her, solve this crime, and hopefully, potentially, hang up the cape and be happy with her and ride off into the sunset.
Yeah, because he doesn't believe that she would have killed him.
Batman starts to follow a trail of clues. Again, guys, we don't have the whole story mapped out, but this would...
Don't kill us for plot holes, please.
This would lead to the inclusion of different villains, like the ventriloquist, Catwoman, maybe Riddler in there. And he's starting to cross off his list the fact that the disappearance of Andrea and the potential murder of her father is not at the hands of any of the known players in Gotham. It's not a rogue that he's encountered yet. This is an entirely new foe he's dealing with, the Court of Owls.
So as Batman's following a string of murders of various like upper class citizens of Gotham, like he starts to find owl mementos at the scene of each crime. This confuses him even more. Is there like another party at play here? This question is actually answered in the game. Just as he thinks he's about to get to the bottom of it and catch the Court of Owls, this figure kind of appears out of the shadows, the Phantasm. So it's revealed to Batman that the Phantasm has been behind this slew of violent murders of Gotham's elite and their upper class, who are actually revealed to be members of the Court of Owls. So in actuality, the Phantasm has been using Batman to help them take down the Court of Owls.
While all this is happening, Batman actually uncovers the deeper mystery behind the Court of Owls. They've actually been secretly pulling the strings of Gotham in the last few years to seize complete control of the city. And one way that they've actually been doing this is by blackmailing Harvey Dent to get the asylum back open so that they can have all of Gotham's criminals out of their way. No other players in this game, they can just seize full control. And how they blackmail him is that we'd actually want to adapt what they do in the animated series, where Harvey has an alter ego, Big Bad Harv.
Oh yeah.
Who is this very kind of violent secondary persona of Harvey. It only comes out when he's outside of the public eye and he's very ashamed of it and tries to bury it with a lot of failed psychiatric help in the process.
Yeah, and it only makes his outbursts come out even worse.
Exactly.
How much he pushes it deep down.
The court basically says, you gotta freaking help us because we know that you have this persona, and if you don't help us, we're gonna make it public, and this would totally defame you. You'd be taken down, your career would be ruined, and you'll probably get murdered by all these people that you've locked away. In addition to this, we also learn just a little lore and history and world building. They've actually been letting the Joker run rampant, and maybe even breaking him out of Blackgate a couple times in the last year to keep Batman as distracted as possible so he doesn't catch on to
their underworld dealings.
Exactly.
So Batman actually finds out that the court has been pulling Harvey's strings this whole time, and it makes him realize that wow, there is corruption in every single level of Gotham's infrastructure. Batman tries to console Harvey, and he tells him to stand up against the injustice of the Court of Owls to actually not get the asylum open. So Harvey's scared out of his mind because the following day he's supposed to appear in court to advocate for the asylum's reopening. So he knows in his heart that he needs to do the right thing, but he also selfishly doesn't want to ruin his career. He's scared that the court is going to expose him, and he gets so frustrated when he's talking to Batman that his Big Bad Harv persona takes over, and he actually punches Batman.
It could be hilarious actually, as if they had the counter option over his head as that happens. And in one scenario you could catch his fist and be like, why did you do that, Harvey?
Yeah, and if not, you could just let him punch you.
Yeah, but just be completely unfazed by it.
Yeah, I like that. And once he snaps out of it, he just recedes into himself, and he's so ashamed, and he starts sobbing. He's ashamed of what he's buried, but finally he agrees to stand up to the court and stand up against the reopening of Arkham Asylum, with Batman's assurance that he'll protect him at the courthouse. So Harvey appears in court, and just as he's about to spill the beans on the Court of Owls and that the asylum shouldn't open, the court stages an attack on his life. Somehow, the Palpatine returned. No, somehow acid gets thrown at his face like it always does in every iteration, and it scars half his face. And this will give Two-Face kind of an incentive to hate Batman even more. He promised to protect him and he failed.
And the story actually comes to a climax as Batman deduces that the Phantasm is actually Andrea, and she's been vengefully killing all of who she thinks is her father's killers, being the Court of Owls. As a higher up member of Gotham society, she believes that her father was actually killed because the court asked him to join, their rankings and their team of Gotham takeover, but he actually refuses. And the story would actually wrap with the death of the Court of Owls at her hands. Maybe Batman takes a few of them down himself, but just as he's about to expose them, she slits their throat or something. It's just super vengeful. And as she gets to the leader, the final boss battle in the story would maybe even pit you against her. She gets the upper hand, and as she kills the leader, she takes off the Court of Owls mask off of the leader and finds out that it's actually her father. This whole time, her father has actually known that Batman's true identity is Bruce Wayne and has manipulated his own daughter, Andrea, to be with him, to get Batman out of the picture, to finally let him and the court have the opportunity to take over Gotham. with Batman's disappearance. Without Batman's presence, and the lack of criminals running around to be locked away in Arkham Asylum, they now have Gotham ripe for the taking. The court figures this out. Actually, a little Easter egg you came up with just as we were wrapping this, which is sick. But it's to actually reveal that they had partnered with Hugo Strange to figure out Batman's identity.
Hugo Strange already knows that Bruce is Batman. Like, he been knew about it, so it's not canon breaking.
And Andrea obviously doesn't know that her father's out of the court, and he doesn't know that she's the Phantasm. So they can't really stop each other in his final death. Because of this, you can imagine you accidentally kill your father thinking you're avenging his killer. This absolutely destroys her and she disappears just completely out of Gotham, leaving Bruce just as broken, if not more, than he was prior to her appearance in his life at all.
At the end of the game, Bruce is so broken and he's receded into himself and he's so depressed and sad and down bad for Andrea that Alfred is trying to get him to, just go out in the world, just take a day and stop wallowing in like this pit of loneliness that he's created like as Batman. And he would hand him 2 tickets to Haley's Circus.
I just thought of something crazy.
Tell me.
In an earlier scene, Batman has a date planned with Andrea to go to the circus. And as he's in the Batcave and he's like wallowing in self-pity, he looks over to his right and he just sees the 2 tickets on the side of like his computer.
Yeah.
And he picks up the tickets and he just like looks at them like longfully, goes to the circus on his own. And that's how we get into like the whole origin. And maybe the post-game deals with Harvey Dent.
A sequel to this prequel sequel that we're pitching right now would be about Robin.
Maybe it could even tie into Two-Face.
Absolutely.
So that's our pitch for a prequel, sequel,
prequel, whatever it is.
Bit of a different video, but we just wanted to hop on and also reaffirm the fact that we're not a Spider-Man only channel.
Yeah.
Did you guys like our pitch? Shit on us on the comments,
Please.
Tell us it's the worst Batman story ever, but we won't believe you because we're proud.
Yeah.
And as well as this, let us know what your pitch would be for a prequel or sequel to the Arkham franchise. There's so much left in that universe that can be explored.
If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, tell us we're morons, share with your friends, all that stuff. Ask us if we're gay, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Cheers, guys.